I hate to do this every time and explain about my book, because I always say the same thing. It's boring, right? No, not the book. Oh, God forbid. God forbid. Oh, the book is boring. I mean, but the description of the book is kind of boring.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
No one.
There's people here who haven't never heard it.
I love you. I love you anyway, but I love you more.
There's a lot of people here who haven't been here before.
And a lot of people haven't been here before. Okay, so indulge me with the reading glasses and the explanation that we've all, some of us have heard. That, Lorna, I did. Okay.
When you go on a book tour, you've got to get used to making it fresh every time. You're going to be
I have no problem making it fresh, but you have to listen fresh. That's the problem.
We got to.
You do, because you got, it's unconditional love.
It is.
Women who write is unconditional love. Yeah.
No question.
Yeah. Okay.
That's right.
Shh. Hey. I saw you talking. No. I was a teacher, I really was, for 5 minutes. But, you know, yeah, but this is the thing. I was in Tucson, Arizona. My degree was in drama education. Starting pay for a teacher in high school in 1977 was $7,000 a year. Okay, starting pay for a waitress, $23,000 a year.
Wow.
So what did I choose? I was an actress. That's but it's really a shame. Our priorities are so messed up. It's horrible. Okay, so my fictionalized novel, Don't Jump, is now 1/10 finished. A screenplay. Okay. Yes. I have a collaborator, Michael Phillips. He's an esteemed Brit. And we have a wonderful way of working. It's working out very well. We agreed right at the beginning that we would agree to disagree, and we would not take anything personally. So it gets kind of loud, but we're very calm in our loudness. And what happens is the way we settle all disputes, since there's two, how do you settle disputes with two? One says yes, one says no, right? We have to act it out. So we act it out, and then there's a clear winner. It's always clear when you go through the whole thing. So, and that's how we're working. So yes, we've written attended the screenplay. We'll be writing tomorrow. Very excited. So Sandra Bullock playing Andy. We want Sandra. Forget independent feature. No. I've got this thing packed. Dennis Leary as I won't say who, but he's perfect. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. So anyway, where am I? Okay. I'm going to do this with his little, okay. So, I didn't even write the description I usually say because I'm so sick of saying it, but now let me see if I can remember what I always say. What do I always say? It's a story, a woman's quest to find her place and purpose amidst sex, drugs, rock and roll, and celebrity. Okay, that's what my story is, and I made it up. No, not so much, but I changed all the names, and I changed some other things too, and you'll never know what, so everybody's safe. Okay, it's 1990. Andy, a 30-something single, up-and-coming rock and roll promoter, is still dating two guys. Lenny, her old friend and comedy teacher, who unknowingly led her to her current career as a successful rock promoter in New York, and reintroduced her to her childhood boy-next-door best friend, who's his writing partner. But they no longer write together, and they no longer talk. Yeah. Barry is sober as a judge, except I don't know any judges who are sober, so he's soberer than that. And Lenny enjoys all things Mary Jane, as does Andy. Barry has yet to kiss her, while Lenny hit a home run, albeit with a broken mitt. When last we met, all was in flow, everywhere. You'll have to read the book to catch up on that. Okay. Yay. Yeah. Woo! Lenny came over the next night with something on his mind, the night after the flow, because they had sex and the rubber broke and she thought she was pregnant, and then they made love for the second time, and he left in the middle of the night, and he called her all freaked out, and he said, Andy, Andy, and he was screaming, and somebody looked at him with horror, and she puts on the lights, and there's blood everywhere. Okay, that was the last place we were. She's not pregnant. That's good. Okay. Lenny came over the next night with, I'm sorry, Phil. I know. It's yeah. But any man who leaves a woman and has blood all over him, that's a keeper. That's where we left. Yeah. Okay. Lenny came over the next night with something on his mind. "What's up with you and Barry?" he asked, pacing madly around my small living room. "I don't think I can take much more of this, Andy. It's not only murder with you. Barry and I can't even look at each other anymore." "I'm so sorry, Lenny. I've got this thing in my head that this is the most important decision I'm ever going to make, and I got to get it right. Right now, your most important decision is Chinese or Italian. I'm hungry. Let's go eat." Relieved to be off the hook, we ran around the corner and had some chicken parm. Lenny was more pensive than usual. I suspected he had more to say. Smoking a joint back at my place after dinner, we were sitting very close. I turned to speak and then stopped myself. He was silently pleading. I knew what he wanted, but was I ready to give it to him? I wanted to be. And yet, we went to bed, but it was very different than the night before. Our lovemaking was tentative, almost fragile. Lenny dressed to leave. "Won't you spend the night?" I tried to not sound as disappointed as I felt. "I can't sleep anywhere but in my own bed, and even then it's tough. I'm a total insomniac. If I stay, I'm going to spend the whole night staring at you and making little noises to keep you awake." I took his leaving as a rejection of me, no matter how valid his reason. How could I choose him if he wouldn't spend the night with me? "Stay with me, please." Did I sound as desperate as I felt? He stayed, surprising us both. By extending his comfort zone, he was definitely swaying my vote. As we lay there, neither of us even close to sleep, the words finally came. "I'm falling in love with you, Andy." I snuggled close, willing him to stop there. It was not to be. "I think it's time." Me or Barry? Well, there it was, the ultimatum. I was crazy about Lenny. Thank you. I was crazy about Lenny and definitely falling for him. But I couldn't ignore the signs. Barry had resurfaced for a reason. Wasn't the girl supposed to end up with the boy next door? Barry and I had a date scheduled for the next night. He was going to pick me up, see my apartment, and then take me out to a late supper. I had something else in mind. Determined to make an informed decision, I planned my seduction carefully. I put on my tightest jeans, lowest scoop neck clingy jersey top, and fuck me pumps. Barry arrived shockingly on the same page. He was carrying a dozen perfect long stem roses, red this time. The message wasn't lost on me. I showed him around the apartment, which took less than a minute. And as I was putting the flowers in water, the phone rang. The machine picked up. Silence, and then, "Hi, this is Andy. Leave me a message." After the beep, Lenny's voice, sounding anxious, almost strangled. "Hey, Andy, it's me. Just wanted to say hi." Neither Barry nor I acknowledged the intrusion, not verbally at least. I poured him a Coke, put on Sting's Nothing Like the Sun. Does it get any more obvious than that? And I joined him on the couch. "Dance with me," I said, leaping up, yanking at his unwilling arms. He struggled a bit, but finally gave up and rose hesitantly. We'd only taken a step or two when the phone rang again. "Hi, this is Andy. Leave me a message." Silence. "Andy, hi, it's me. I'm going a little crazy over here." Silence. Barry and I sort of froze. Just as we were easing back into motion, the phone rang again. I raced over and turned off the machine. "I'm sorry, Barry. I'm so sorry. But I've got to know what's going on with us." "You've got to know? You've got to know?" Barry, looking almost insane, scaring me a bit, did what we were both there to do. Could this be that little blonde boy? Amply aroused and possessed, Barry eased me down on the couch, lowering himself on top of me, never taking his lips off mine. The phone rang again. And again. Having waited more than half of his life, Barry finally let go and was not to be deterred. He was skillful and passionate, Not quite what I expected after all the stalling. The phone rang again. I couldn't not hear it. I couldn't block it from my